Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Mallorca. Today we are visiting Mallorca, and this is gonna be a very short stay because I'm spending here just over 24 hours. And I traveled here from Valencia because I found some super cheap tickets. I paid only, I think, 15 euros one way. So I decided, why not? This is the price of a bus ticket to. Actually, it was even cheaper than my trip to Barcelona. Anyways, so I'll be staying here for just over 24 hours, and we're very close to the history center. Behind my back you can see the city walls, the medieval walls, and yeah, I've got a list of all of the places I would like to visit. And as always, I hope that we'll learn something together and that you'll enjoy it. But first I need breakfast because I woke up at 5 a.m. to get to the airport on time. So yeah, some breakfast is needed. See you soon, guys.
After landing in Mallorca, I headed straight for a cafe. Just a few steps from the bus stop that connects the airport with the city, I found Esfar Coffee and Brunch. A bright, modern cafe with large windows and a laid-back vibe. It isn't cheap, but after the flight, that black coffee and fresh breakfast felt like the perfect welcome to the island. Before exploring, it's worth pausing to understand where you're standing. Mallorca's history stretches back over 2,000 years. The island was settled in prehistoric times, later conquered by the Romans in 123 BC, who named it Mallorca, the larger one, to distinguish it from nearby Minorca. After the fall of Rome came centuries of shifting powers, Vandals, Byzantines, and then, in the 10th century, the Moors from North Africa. They called the city Medina Mallorca and turned it into a flourishing hub of trade, science and architecture. In 1229, King James I of Aragon sailed across the Mediterranean and seized the island for the crown of Aragon. With him came Christianity, Catalan settlers, and a wave of Gothic architecture that would forever transform Palma's skyline. From that moment on, Palma evolved, a city shaped by the sea routes, merchants, monks, and modern tourists alike. Plaça de la Puerta del Camp, where fragments of the medieval city walls still stand. These walls once enclosed Medina Mallorca, protecting it from pirates and rival kingdoms. Their sandstone surface glows golden in the late morning light, and you can still trace where the watchtowers and gates once controlled entry to the city. Standing here, you feel connected to a time where Palma was a fortified island outpost, looking both east toward Africa and west toward the Spanish mainland. Just a short walk away lies the Museum of Mallorca, set inside a graceful 16th century mansion. It's a quiet space, but incredibly rich in artifacts. Roman mosaics, Moorish ceramics, medieval altarpieces. Each room feels like a different century. The Islamic collection, in particular, is stunning, a reminder that Palma once thrived under a completely different culture. Right next to the museum stands La Portella, one of the ancient gates that led into the Moorish city. And if you've been scrolling through Instagram trying to find that famous Palma mural, this is where it hides, just behind the gate. It's a great little discovery for anyone who loves mixing art, history, and a bit of urban mystery. Then suddenly, the narrow streets open up, and you see it. Le Sceau, the majestic Gothic Cathedral of Palma. It's impossible to miss. It rises directly above the sea. Its sandstone walls glowing almost pink at sunrise. Construction began in 1229 on the site of a former mosque, and continued for nearly 400 years. The result is one of Europe's tallest and most beautiful Gothic cathedrals. Inside, Light pours through enormous stained glass windows, especially the massive rose window, one of the largest in the world, with more than 1,200 pieces of colored glass. In the early 1900s, Antoni Gaudi was invited to help with interior restoration, and his signature style still shines through in the suspended canopy over the altar and the use of light to create a divine atmosphere. Locals call it La Cathedral de la Luz, the Cathedral of Light. And when you stand inside as the morning sun floods the nave with gold and violet, the name makes perfect sense. Step outside, and the view of the sea just behind the cathedral reminds you that faith and voyage always have been intertwined here. A few streets away, the Basílica de Sant Francis offers a calmer kind of beauty. Built in the 13th century, it's one of Palma's oldest Franciscan churches, with a simple sandstone facade and a quiet courtyard shaded by palm trees. Inside lies the tomb of Ramon Llull, one of Mallorca's most famous sons, a philosopher, poet, and theologian who lived in the 13th century. Llull tried to unite reason and faith, to bring dialogue between Christians and Muslims, a remarkably modern vision for this time. The church itself feels contemplative, almost monastic. The cloister next door, with its symmetrical arches and gentle echo, is the perfect spot to escape the noise of the city and imagine Palma as it was centuries ago.
Alright guys, so we have visited the cathedral, which was great. I can totally recommend it. One of the most beautiful cathedrals here in Spain that I have visited. The palace, the royal palace, which was great. Some teenagers listening to gangster rap behind my back. Anyways, so as I said, the cathedral was great. The palace was absolutely stunning, amazing. It wasn't cheap, and the Museum of Mallorca was, I think, €2.50 for the ticket. Very good news. Again, I can totally recommend these three places. So now we are heading towards the beach here, and then we'll see the marina. Excuse me. So hopefully it will be worth it. It's a bit cloudy, but at the same time around 22, 23 degrees. So not bad at all. And then we'll hit the city center once again, probably in the evening. And of course I'll be looking for a place to have some lunch, some cheap, affordable lunch. And nutritious, cheap and affordable. So yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers.
Climbing uphill, I reached the area known as Els Molins, literally the windmills. These old mills once ground grain for the whole city. Today, they stand quietly overlooking Palma, their wooden sails long gone, but their stone towers beautifully preserved.
As you can see, we were pretty far away from the city center. Well, close to the marina. And I'm currently on my way to the hostel here in Palma. So we'll see the hostel. It was the cheapest option. It cost me roughly €23 per night. I mean, it wasn't the cheapest, but some hostels use this unfair strategy. So some hostels use this strategy and they charge you extra if you're over 30, and since I'm over 30, I would have to pay like for some kind of card, like 10 years extra. A card that is valid for a year, but like only in some hostels. I don't get it, and I don't find it fair, to be honest. Anyways, so I'm gonna check out the hostel. Whew. And then I'll rest, and we'll go out and check out the La Palma by night, the city by night. Stay with me. See you soon.
For accommodation, I chose We Hostel Palma, Albergue Turistico, about a 30-minute walk from the city center. It's one of the few truly affordable options in the city. Clean, modern, with a friendly international crowd. For backpackers or solo travelers, it's definitely worth it. When night falls, Santa Catalina transforms. Once a fisherman's neighborhood, today it's Palma's nightlife hotspot. A maze of narrow streets filled with bars, restaurants, and music spilling out onto the sidewalks. The air smells of grilled seafood and wine, and every corner seems to have a different beat. I found a seat at Havana, a bar so crowded that getting a chair felt like winning a lottery. A glass of local red wine in hand, warm breeze on my face. This is the Mediterranean at its best. Lively, loud, and endlessly charming. Later, wandering through the neighborhood, I stumble upon PastaAmi, a small, unpretentious pasta restaurant that turned out to be a revelation. I ordered the carbonara, and honestly, it was better than many I've had in Italy. The sauce was rich but balanced, the pasta perfectly al dente, and the atmosphere cozy and friendly. For travelers watching their budget but still craving something unforgettable, this place is a must.
Alright guys, so this is day 2. I still have a couple of hours to visit the remaining sites here in Mallorca, and currently I'm looking for some good and cheap place for breakfast. Yesterday there wasn't much of the nightlife, simply because I was super tired. I just decided to go for a glass, 2 glasses actually, of wine. I didn't even go to the city center actually, to the old town. This place was very close to my hostel. I forgot the name of this neighborhood. Anyways, it was great. It was super crowded. There were literally thousands of people, and it was very hard to find a free table, but I managed to. And then I walked back, had the best pasta carbonara in my life, guys. I'll totally recommend this place. It's called PastaAmi, this place. I still remember the name. And then basically around 10:30 I was back to my hostel and slept straight for like 9 hours. It's been a very tiring week. Anyways, so day 2, and first breakfast, and then the remaining sites. And then, unfortunately, well, then we'll be finishing. I'm going to the airport. So see you soon, guys.
The next morning, I woke up early, as always, and went searching for a proper breakfast, something simple and local. I ended up at Bar Campsito, a true bar Mallorquin, where locals read newspapers and chat over tiny cups of espresso. I ordered a bocadillo with bacon and cheese, and it was exactly the kind of solid start you need for another long day of walking.
Alright, so breakfast was amazing. I had toast with bacon and cheese, and not just a little bit of bacon and a little bit of cheese, but a lot of bacon and cheese plus a coffee, and I paid $5.50. So it is possible. Yesterday I was thinking that Mallorca is probably one of the most expensive places here in Spain in terms of like nightlife, food, etc. But like after having the greatest carbonara pasta in my life, even better than Italy, and toast and a whole breakfast, succulent, Spanish breakfast for $5.50, I'm changing my mind. We're going towards the marina right now to see some boats, and then several other historic places, and then the airport. So yeah, let's see the boats and the beautiful morning in the marina. See you soon, guys.
From there, I walked down the Marina de Palma, where rows of yachts line the turquoise water and the salt breeze carries the sound of rigging clinking in the wind. A few steps inland stands the Lonja de Palma, once the headquarters of the city's Merchants Guild. Built in the 15th century, it's a masterpiece of Catalan Gothic. The twisted columns inside look like stone ropes holding up a vaulted ceiling, a reminder of how wealth and trade shape Palma's identity. Next to it lies Lord del Rey, the King's Garden, once part of the royal palace, now a peaceful, beautiful park filled with fountains, palms, and jasmine. It's one of those places where you can sit under the shade, listen to water trickling, and imagine the sound of horses and courtly music centuries ago. Heading back to the city center, I passed the Ajuntament de Palma, the elegant city hall that overlooks a lively square. Just beyond it spreads Plaça Major, the beating heart of Palma. Arcaded buildings, artists, musicians, and cafes spilling onto the cobblestones. A short walk away stands the Basílica de Sant Miquel, one of the city's most historically significant churches. Built over a former mosque, it's said to be the exact spot where King James I planted the first cross after his victory over the Moors in 1229. Its Baroque facade glows warmly in the afternoon light, and inside, the atmosphere feels thick with centuries of faith and transformation. My walk ended at Plaça de España, Palma's main transport hub, and a convenient place to catch your breath, or your bus. Around me, locals hurried to work, tourists rolled their suitcases, and the hum of the city carried that familiar Mediterranean rhythm. Slow, alive, timeless. Cost: breakfast, €10. Museum of Mallorca, €3. We Hostel Palma, €23. PastaAmi, from €5.50. Wine in the evening, €8. Breakfast Sunday, $5.50. Visiting Palma de Mallorca offers a refined glimpse into a city where history and culture intertwine. From the majestic Gothic cathedral to the labyrinth streets of the old town, its serene beaches, rugged mountains, and Mediterranean landscapes provide a tranquil escape, especially in November, where the island is at its most peaceful and far removed from the typical party scene. If you enjoyed this walk, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your favorite spots in Palma in the comments. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep exploring, and keep living your best life. Hasta luego.